George Floyd, the guy that was killed, the name that has sparked riots and discussions in America and across the world. I want to talk about that, but I don't just want to say Black Lives Matter or All Lives Matter or slogans. Let me take you back to something which maybe seems unconnected, but I hope I can bring you to where I'm at. 2008, 2009, somewhere there was the time when I changed my mind on something. I thought, I've always been for equality. I've always believed that men and women are equal. I haven't, ever been somebody who has some weird picture that men are better than women. But that was the years for me that I realized that I was a bystander in a world where women were denied all kinds of things, especially in the church, but all over the place. And that as somebody who was a leader, as somebody who was a white male, I had a place to make a difference. And for me, doing nothing was keeping a system going that was wrong. And from that point forward, I decided to open my eyes and see how my actions, I would talk over women more than I would talk over men. I didn't know I was doing it. I would say dumb things like, I'm happy for women to be leaders, but I prefer to have a man leading over me. Why, you prejudiced bigot? That's what prejudice is. People say, we're not born prejudiced. Of course we're born prejudiced. We're prejudiced towards people like us. I feel more at home with people like me than people who are not like me. That's how we are. And anyone who says otherwise is lying. You have to do some work to be comfortable with people who are not like you. So when I'm not racist, Black Lives Matter, great. You've stuck a slogan on your Facebook, Insta, Twitter, whatever. But for me, what I'm saying now, and I've been thinking about this for a few years, but I need to turn my thoughts into action, is the fact is that most of us who are white, when we look at a black boy, we expect him to be less intelligent and worse behaved than his white peer. We do. I don't know. You can't ignore the messages that society puts into our lives. You can't ignore it. And we have to actively make a difference in the way that we think and act. Like the best analogy I've been given is, that certain people start playing the game of life on hard mode or nightmare mode, and some of us start on normal. And everyone's life is difficult. But some people have extra things. And yes, some people are poor and white and they start on nightmare mode. But the truth is that most people of colour don't start on normal mode. Most of them start back from that. And that's the problem. And you can't just say, well, I'm not racist. I don't do anything bad. We have to actively be part of the answer. Because all people are equal. We've got the same blood, we've got the same spirit, we're the same underneath. But we all have that prejudice that prefers people like us. We can't help it. So we have to work on it and overcome it. Not just declare with our voices that, it's not me, Jack. Since 2008, 2009, I have made it my goal to raise up women into positions of authority, responsibility, and to release them in the same way that I do men. I've noticed that men push themselves forwards, and it's easy to say yes to them, but most women don't push themselves forward and stand in the back waiting to be asked. As the leader of an organisation, I get to do something about that and notice those women who don't thrust themselves forward. But I have not yet raised up a leader of colour. And that's on me. So I want to look back on 2020 in 10 years' time and look around and say, here are the people not like me, different ethnically to me, who have other things to overcome, who I can say I have invested in and I have helped. That's got to be the legacy here. We're not racist. We're not South Africa under apartheid. We're not the South of America in the 60s. I get that. But we're not there yet. And we don't need to browbeat and we don't need to prove how cool we are or how good we are. We need to get off our backsides, stop saying things on social media and make a change. To not allow the cheeky, jokey, racist comment that someone says, to stand up and say, you can't say that. That's not okay. You're perpetuating something that is wrong. We've got to be able to make a difference and see the kid who doesn't think anything of themselves because they've been told that they are just X, Y, or Z, and raise them up to find the person who has been overlooked and give them an opportunity. To see the whys and wherefores, why people end up where they are. As somebody who follows Jesus, all of us in that following of Jesus, we're level. We're all sinners, we're all messed up, and we all need him. It brings us all together. We talk about being equal, kneeling at the foot of the cross of Jesus. And that's what it's like. And we start from that place, see each other as equal, and then help one another to live life to the full. Now, whether that's your starting point or not, I don't believe in any ideology that doesn't make us all equal. So not what slogan are you going to write on social media? What are you going to do to live a life that produces equality, that creates opportunity, that changes the status quo? When you say you're not powerful, when you say you can't, you keep the messed up system going. So what are you going to do? What's going to happen? How do we be the change that we want to see?